Oh, well, hello everyone. It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with Gabriel Pfeifer, is owner and co-founder of, excuse me, the City of Gold, as you can see on his merch that he has right there. How you doing today?
Good, man. Thanks for having me on here. I'm super excited. When Zach told me about this told me about you, I instantly reached out to set this up, and he told me a little bit about you. But I like how deep you are in with veve and Omni. Sorry, it's been a long day, man. Long Easter yesterday. But he told me how involved you are over there and about your podcast and how you just keep it real. And I respect that because there's such a limited amount of real information right now in the Web3 space. So I love what you're doing. I know Zach's big on veve too, and I'm excited to be on here with you today.
Yeah, I try. I mean, I just have conversations with people, see where it goes. Most of the time we stay on topic. Every now and then we'll go off on like conspiracies or like aliens or whatever, whatever the person's into. And it's like, oh, I can get into that. But so you reached out and you said that somebody had mentioned me specifically, and you said that was Zach Shade.
Yeah, Zach Shade. He's one of the consultants on our project, and I know he's
whale like you, and that you guys you guys love it over there. I like veve too. I like that we took a couple things from what's supposed to be going on, so to speak, with their token once it launches, with the ecosystem and the burn mechanism. That was a little bit of inspiration for how our tokenomics are actually set up. There isn't a couple other projects, but big fan of them over there. And I mean, between just having all the IP that they do, they ain't going anywhere. I like it. So, Zach likes it a lot more than me. He's deep on it, but
we'll definitely get into that later, and the followers and Zach and the board and everything. But for everyone that doesn't know, that hasn't had a chance to read anything on it, what type of metaverse is City of Gold supposed to be? Like, what is your vision, and how could people take that and not necessarily mutate it, but have their own way with it? Is it something that you guys want to want to be centralized a little bit, or do you want people to do their own thing with it?
So it's a community-owned world at the end of the day. City of Gold is a realistic style metaverse that's built on Unity, governed on Ethereum, and our NFTs get paid to own them, and our NFTs are digital mansions on top of plots of land, and we pay people to own our NFTs while we teach them everything that they need to know to go start their own project or in real life business. Once they have an idea, they're able to Shark Tank style pitch it to our community once a quarter at one of our demo days, where they can source funding, develop partnerships, and go make it happen. And as far as the question of how do they make this their own, I mean, it's done for you in the sense of this isn't where developers are going to come over here and essentially build their own houses. We do want it to be as community built as possible, so we have hired on a couple people from within our community to actually build houses and stuff like that. We've got 6 game devs and 6 blockchain devs already, but people are like, hey, we want to put a home in your metaverse. I'm like, cool, come put it in here. So we want to incorporate it as much as possible because it is going to be community owned at the end of the day. Very similar to like a real life ecosystem, how there'll be like taxes on transactions. Like if you go to the mall and you buy a shirt, you get taxed depending on where you live. And we have a transaction fee on any purchase that happens within our ecosystem once the world is launched. And all the people that own our NFTs, the residents, they get to split that transaction fee and get stuff like that. But because it is community owned, we do, like I said, want to be community built. So any chance that we get, we bring on our community and try to get them involved.
Okay, so there's a lot to go over there, and now I have a ton more questions, which is great. When you said like you'll pay people to have your NFTs, and the NFTs are on plots of land, so go over that real quick. How many plots of land will you guys have at first? Will you get more land, and what type of NFTs are you going to pay people to have, just to start off?
So the NFTs, we call them properties. They're digital mansions on top of plots of land. Our Genesis collection consists of 10,000 NFTs. We have 5 drops as far as residential real estate goes.
And one of them is soon, right?
What?
One of those drops is soon, right? Like 25th or the 20th, or?
We actually pushed it, and we can talk about why we pushed it on this call, but we pushed it. It was originally going to be on the 25th of April. Now it's going to be towards the end of May. We had a huge opportunity that came up with some partnerships and the ability to go found 50 to 100 more partnerships that came from one opportunity. So a lot of big things happened, and my team, they've been pushing this thing hold on one sec. For whatever reason, my AirPods are just being so annoying. So I'm just going to take these things out.
Okay.
But my team's been pushing it this whole time, and they're like, hey, we need to push. And I'm like, let's go. And I was the one that pushed this one. I'm like, kick this thing 6 weeks. Like, we're going to do this super, super right, because we got 5 drops, man. So it's make a break on the first one. We have a really big budget to go spend as far as marketing goes. But I'm big on organic as well. I own a couple marketing companies, and I understand the value of those organic community members at the end of the day, and those people really, really, really holding it down. So when this partnership came up, it just opened up so many new doors to where we're going to have anywhere between 50 to 100 collaborations going on just for this first mint. And the first mint, like I said, 10,000 pieces. To answer the other question, each mint drops in 500 as far as supply goes. So first mint's 10,000, second's 9,500, 9,000, 8,500, 8K. And then we will release the commercial land after that. That number hasn't been decided. We're virtual, so we can build up. As far as commercial real estate goes, there'll be 15 hubs throughout the metaverse as well. But as far as residential properties, 10,000 is the Genesis collection. And as far as the paying to own the NFTs, we're doing that through the staking and through that style of the DAO splitting the transaction fees, virtual event tickets. For example, one of the hubs that we're really considering having is a golf course. And if we sell tickets to play on the golf course for, we'll call it $5 USD equivalent of our token, those sales will go to the DAO. All the commercial land goes to the DAO. So they get to, this is a world for them. We want them to win very, very, very hard here. But as far as the interim, how do they get paid? Through staking. The staking reward system that we have set up for them is very attractive in our opinion, and it incentivizes them to not only hold their properties from the first collection, but to acquire more and more and more. We've really implemented a lot of things from Monopoly into our project, such as like you played Monopoly, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So you know how you have to have like all 3 properties of that color in order to start building?
Yeah.
So if you have 3 properties and they're consistent or consecutive, so 1, 2, 3, or 1,000, 1,001, 1,002, you can burn those 3 properties and it'll pop out in a state. And an estate will be a castle, like style mansion, a high rise, or an apartment complex. With those apartments and those high rises, you'll be able to essentially rent out additional units. Yeah. So you'll be collecting cash flow from the staking, cash flow from the renting, and when you have an estate, you get a bonus multiplier for the staking. So it takes the average land and property score, which is determined by exterior and interior attributes such as a helicopter pad, a boat dock, a tree house, basically anything you can think of, a basketball court, to a movie theater. Different things make the property worth more money. It'll take the average score of those 3 properties. That's your multiplier. So now you're getting an extra 33% as far as the staking goes. But lots of Monopoly into the metaverse from the game. It's my favorite game.
All right, so there's a lot to go over there. The decision to push it back 3 weeks, did that come this weekend when you guys were speaking at the event in Miami?
That came after blockchain. Yeah, I spoke at blockchain, and we were initially gonna do the 25th of April. It just so happened that the 25th of April was the date that the team picked, and it's my birthday, so I was like super excited for that. But then we had all these partnerships lined up. We were down in Miami for 2 weeks. We had the Raptor Rolls Royces. We spoke at a couple conferences, and then we threw the Bored Ape Yacht Club after party with NFT tips. And it just opened so many doors being down there at all those events, meeting people for 2 weeks, literally like just out and about 2 weeks. Every single day, you're just meeting new people. and then you meet new people through the connections that you meet there. And then, like I said, one of those partnerships, we can talk about that real quick. We basically did a partnership with a company that makes avatars. And half the battle is making a metaverse. The other half of the battle are the people that are going to be going into the metaverse. And we wanted to find a solution to where our world is very, very realistic. It's not a voxel style world. It's not a futuristic style world. It's a modern day world in the metaverse. And the reason that it was set up that way is because one of our big missions is to bridge the gap of the average demographic of a user in the Web3 space. And the way that we plan to do that is by accomplishing one of our other missions, which is to bridge the gap of how commerce is done in the Web3 space. The example that I've been using is golf. If you want to get into playing golf, you're not just going to go buy a $5,000 set of golf clubs, in my opinion. You're more likely than not going to go to like a Top Golf or something like that, and you have some beers and you eat some food and you hang out with some friends and you hit around a couple balls and like, okay, this is cool. I'd go to Top Golf again. Then you go to Top Golf a couple more times. And then after you go to Top Golf, you're like, maybe I'd get into this. So you go buy on Facebook Marketplace and offer up, let go type thing. You buy a set of clubs, old and used, for $100-$200. Now you're going to the driving range. Go to the driving range a couple times. You get a golf instructor maybe. You start playing golf here or there. Now you're like, okay, I do really like golf. Now you go drop $1,000 or $2,000 on some nice clubs. And next thing you know, you're playing golf every single weekend, paying $100 to get mad, hitting around a little white ball in a big green field. I used to play golf, so I know how it is. But, that process didn't happen over a matter of days. That process happened over weeks, months, possibly years. You don't know how long that took. But when I asked a question on stage at Blockchain, I was like, hey, how many people in here have a VR-enabled device? About 15% of the room raised their hand. When I asked who in here has a cell phone, everybody raised their hand. And that's why we're building our metaverse to be compatible with mobile, to be on desktop, and obviously VR at the highest resolution. But the reason that we plan to do that is going back to that first thing. We want to help bridge the gap of the demographic of an average user in the space. And unfortunately, my girl, she is not more likely than not going to get into the sandbox and go play around. My dad, he's probably not getting in there either. But my dad plays Wii Golf. He loves Wii Golf. And if you can play, virtual on like a PGA style course for like $2, he might do that. My girl, she's probably not going to go in there, but she does like to online shop. And if she could sit on my couch with my credit card and drink wine and walk around virtually from her phone with a photorealistic avatar of herself and drag and drop articles of her favorite brand onto that avatar, she'd probably do that. So we're trying to incorporate things that will appeal to a lot of people. So sports, toxic casinos, shopping is our biggest one. We're really focused on our mall. We like the commerce side because that also makes a lot of transaction fees for our holders, if you will, which gets them a little bit more earned from that side. But basically the easiest way to hit people is where they're already at. So if we go build on VR, that barrier of entry is harder. So if I have my girlfriend, and she wants to get into the metaverse, or I get her to get on her phone and start walking around a blah, blah, blah store, whatever, she likes, eventually she's going to be like, yo, can I try your VR? And I'm going to be like, yeah, here, try it out. Now she's in there, buying and stuff like that. And then there's going to come a point in time where she's going to be like, hey, can I get on your VR? And I'm like, I'm using it right now. And then she's going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to go get my own. And I'm going to be like, okay, great. And, now she's in the metaverse. She's got her own VR. So going back to that golf example, did that happen over a day, a week? Don't know. Did it happen over a month? Who knows? Did it happen over a year? Could. But what I'm getting at is if we don't have to make them change their habits in order to get them involved, and we can give them things of interest that they already like and make it very, very accessible for them to access those things, I think that's how we'll bridge the gap as far as the average demographic of the space or demographic of a user of the space. And I think the easiest way to do that is through commerce, in my opinion.
So with the commerce, you mentioned, shopping for your girlfriend's favorite brand, but you also have this thing like you want as many things to be sold as possible because that will increase the commerce and increase the amount of coins that, the holders get. So are you leaning more towards getting globally recognized brands, or do you want like, hey, if you have something that looks cool, by all means, you could set up a store in our mall. You might have to pay rent or whatever, um, and just rent that out just so people get the transaction volume, even if it's not a lot of money.
I'd say a little bit of both. I mean, if we could have a brand, like I don't want to say I want to get in trouble, but if we could have a big renowned brand that you'd see at a normal mall, you know, we'll play it safe and say that, have those in there, but also people that have e-commerce stores. Like I love e-commerce. I think it's great, you know, and new brands are popping up all the time. So whether it's a white labeled legging brand that wants to come rent out space, or it's a big dog publicly traded company that wants to come sell stuff, I'd say a little bit of both.
Okay. And would you have any qualms about people that either have their mansions or castles, or people that are renting out rooms for those people to sell stuff in their own apartments on there, or do you only want it to be done in the mall, in the main shopping center?
That's a really good question. And honestly, I haven't thought too much about that. I haven't been asked that question yet. One thing that we were going to do, and this is how I'll respond, is we were going to give them first dibs in a sense to commercial land, kind of like a whitelist style for the commercial land. That was what we were planning on doing up until that point. But as far as letting them sell out of their house, I haven't really thought about that yet. That's why we have the commercial space. Honestly, I'm not sure.
I have two ideas with that. One is that, well, that could take away sales and drive traffic away from malls if people are trying to find these hole in the wall places. But also it could be used as like, hey, if you're good enough to put traffic away from the malls in your own spot, if you do that enough, then you qualify for a spot in the mall and you wouldn't have to pay for one. We would just gift one to you. And you have like a main street, something like that. Just a random idea.
That would be cool. And I'm not opposed to it. Like I want the community to make money. That's the whole reason we're building this, is we're doing this for the community. Like obviously we're going to make some money throughout this process, but at the end of the day, our big payoff, quote unquote, is a small percentage that we have set aside from the token itself, which vests over a couple years at a very low rate. So we got to go execute in order for us to really, really get taken care of. That's where life changing money comes from. And I used to do sales. I did door-to-door sales for 6 years. I've had businesses of my own. I'm a big believer of commission, and I want to get paid in proportion to the value that I bring to the marketplace. And I want to get paid when I bring that value, not before I bring that value. Like I said, we'll make a little bit of money off the mints, but it's expensive out here in these streets to build a metaverse, you know, even if they're virtual streets, you know. We've got a big team over here, real big team. We've got, like I said, we've got 16 game devs contracted out to go build this. We've got 6 blockchain devs, 3D department, 2D department, marketing department, ops department, community managers, CFO, CTO, CPO, CEO, COO, consultants. It's not a small operation. Stuff's expensive, and tech's expensive too. So going back full circle on this, half the battle is building this metaverse. The other half of the battle is making avatars and getting people involved in the metaverse. So we were able to strike up a deal with a company where we can basically turn PFP collections into avatars, 5,000 piece collection, 10,000 piece collection, whatever it is. Take that entire collection and turn it into fully rigged virtual avatars that can be used in AR, VR, a voxel style world, whatever it is, within a matter of weeks at no cost to these founders. And it's allowing us to just open up doors left and right, man, as far as people getting involved, because now we can go approach projects and say something along the lines of, hey, for any one of your community members that owns one of your NFTs that purchases a City of Gold property, we'll go ahead and make them an avatar of their PFP at no cost to them and at no cost to you. Well, if we do this with enough projects, no one project's going to mint us out. They now have 100, 150 people out of a 10,000, 5,000, whatever piece collection it is, running around the metaverse day one in Starbucks, snapping photos with their PFP avatar next to them. And what do you think all the other members of their community are going to want? They're going to want
No.
Then we tell the founder, hey, you can go monetize this to your project. You guys make some money, we make some money. And the people that own the avatar creation company, they make some money too, except their cut of this deal goes back into their token, which is P2E. And every time that you're online with this avatar, you get paid to be online with that avatar. So just an additional
because
in
that's
there,
like free advertising. Yeah.
free advertising for them. Now they've just taken their collection, and it's expensive to go turn things into AR and VR. It's not cheap. You're gonna get what you pay for. So can someone turn your thing into, you know, your PFP into an avatar in a few days and pay, you know, 50, 60 bucks? Yeah, you can do it, but you're gonna get what you pay for. If you want it done right, it's gonna cost you a couple hundred bucks. You know, if you do a whole collection, you're not getting away from, you know, months of delivery, you know, more likely than not, and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to go make that happen. So the value that we can bring to these projects to get them involved in our projects, to make sure that we have two things going on when we mint. The first one being our OG Genesis collection really, really strong. The second one being people not being able to mint our properties because we don't have one drop. We got 5 in the next 12 months. So we need a really, really strong collection, which is why we've implemented the staking and all the long-term benefits, the education, all of it. And the second one is we need people to not be able to buy our stuff, because at that point we'll be here for round 2.
Yeah. And how are the other companies that they said they would pay for every time you're online in your avatar? How would they combat people like writing scripts and be like, I'm gonna be online 24/7 and just have their avatar just doing like a loop around the metaverse? See, I'm online. Or at that point they just wouldn't care because 24 hours of that person just having
There's online, that'd be a question for them at the end of the day. But one of the coolest things about what they have is you say 150 sentences, you, me, whoever, that avatar can now speak for you when you are there in a storyline style environment and interact. So I don't know if they want to combat or avoid that, or if they actually want that. This partnership's very, very new. I'm learning things about it every single day, and I just don't want to step on my own toes and say the wrong thing and put my foot in my mouth right here.
So is that AI that they're working on? Like if they ask you a question, put the if and let statements, like if they ask you this statement, let your avatar go and speak these words.
They're partnered with a very, very, very well-renowned tech company, which we'll be disclosing closer to our mint. But yes, they have AI.
Okay. So that just got that. Oh my God. Oh man, I need to learn more. I want to try to hide some of this excitement in respect for the interview, but that is something that I've been reading about a lot lately. And just to have an NPC like yourself as an NPC character, but also to have it learn and like speak for you, like almost like having Neuralink without the Neuralink. Like what you would say, have the AI say, "Oh, this is what they would say in this particular conversation," is really there's a kind of way of like cloning yourself, be in two places at once, be like an electron, because it could answer for you without you having to be there, which is great.
And I know that they're working. I know that the ability for it to interact in like a story environment, like let's veve, you know, a project comes out, you know, Spider-Man. They want to make a Spider-Man series spin-off type thing, bring a book story to life, you know, whatever it might be. They can have those avatars walking around saying whatever it is, and you know that's now a mission in the metaverse. So it's like
can you program it to be like really dumb? Like, could you program it to say like, "Hey, did you check out Danny DeVito's new OnlyFans?" Like that's the only thing it says.
That I'm sure. Yeah. Does Danny DeVito have an OnlyFans?
I don't think so. I don't know. I picked like the weirdest thing that I could think of because I love him, and I don't know.
They could say anything from what I understand. And as far as the AI goes, I know they're excited for that.
That's amazing. So like you said, this is not inexpensive. This is something that that costs a bit of money. Where'd you get the seed money for this? Is it something that you did like from a previous career? Did you raise money another way? Like you raised shares and you sold the shares?
So it's a mixture of self-funded and a mixture of investors. Basically, I hit up a lot of people that I've made money for in the past, told them about what I wanted to do, and I've done pretty well for them so far that they were happy to invest. But we haven't started any. We own 100% of the project, me and my co-founder. So, I mean, they don't own any equity in this project. We did that for the purpose of being able to take on future partners, whether it's VC investments and a round, going down to however deep in the alphabet we want to get with it. But we wanted to make sure that we had the control and the opportunity to be able to do deals if we needed to do deals in order to make sure that the project got to where we want it to go. That being said, I don't know if we'll ever sell a portion of it. Only time will tell.
Okay, so 2 questions in response to that. What was the career you had before this? And if you needed to raise money again, could you hit up those same people, or would you have to do like a raise capital in a different way?
Good question. Career before this was I did door-to-door sales for 6 years, and then I opened up a marketing agency. And my marketing agency specializes in solar lead generation. And people that I did marketing for, a lot of them were people that I messaged. I've met a lot of people over my years. I mean, I've almost been in business about a decade. Working when I was 14, but since I was loved to age 18, I turned 27 on Monday. Almost been here for a decade, done a lot of deals, and I do good business at the end of the day. Like, I'm in marketing. You can't make everybody happy. Not everybody's going to get results. So do I have like a couple upset clients out there? Yeah. Can't win you can't shoot 100%. If I was doing that, I wouldn't have to work again in my life, but I'm not shooting 100%, but I do good business is what I'm getting at. So the people that I've really killed it for, I hit them up. The easiest people to do business with are the people that you've done it in the past, as long as you have been transparent, as long as you have good communication, and as long as you have good results. But at the end of the day, if I had to do it again, I would definitely start with my network. And I've made so many connections since I sourced capital for this first project. I have new connections, and I'm very, very big on meeting people, because we've all heard it. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And you can run faster together. So you need good people on your team. You need good people in your network, and you need people to win, man. Like City of Gold, I'm out here on this podcast with you right now. The team members are going to town right now, working, holding everything else down. I can't do this alone. So partnerships are very, very important to me. And I try to nurture the relationships that I have, so that if I need them or they need me in the future, we're both there for each other, and it's win-win, no-lose situations that are no-brainers, where everybody involved in the deal has a good upside with limited amount of risk.
And when was the period of time where this started coming together, where you had asked people, you had raised funds and started hiring people? At what point in time was that? What year or month?
November, December of last year.
Oh, so this came on really quick.
We moved fast.
It's not a significant, that's a small amount of time that this came on. And you said end of May is when the first land. How do people here and people that are watching this go about trying to get that first round of land?
Easiest way is just to join the Discord and obviously get whitelisted. It'll be on the Mint site, posted on Twitter, official links, all that good stuff. Pre-sale is 0.12, public is 0.15. Our goal when we set out to do this was to have the heaviest stacked utility project to date with the best price point in the game. And whether it's because of where ETH's at today, down 4 or 5%, I definitely think that even if ETH was up, 5K, I think that we're still right there with it. We just want to make sure that we're really delivering for our community. So it's, like I said, it's not about us coming over here and getting super paid off these couple drops. We're going to make a little bit of money off the first couple drops, but everything's expensive, and our payoff is when we go deliver. And that's what we're looking forward to. I'm in a bunch of publications. I'm trying to be in a lot more, and I'm trying to have them call me every day. I've got big goals on this planet. I want to, one of my biggest goals is to help get people to heaven. I'm religious. I wear my little pray first bracelet every day. I want to become a person of influence, and unfortunately, in 2022, one of the biggest ways that people of influence are judged is financially. So, in order to become a person of influence, you have to go make it and find success financially, and then continue to harp down on the success, and then eventually you become a person of influence, and then you can influence your network, the community, the people that you built, or the people that you've met along the way type thing. And that's one of my biggest goals in life. So if money didn't matter, I'd be out in Colorado, man. I'd be a snowboard instructor in the winter and a whitewater rafting guide in the summer. But I got big goals. God's given me a lot of gifts, and I'm not here to let them go to waste.
I feel you on that. So you haven't said yet something I wanted to inquire about. If I were to get in, this is something like if you could do all this in 5 months, 6 months, I can only imagine what this project could be in the next 2 years. So for me, it would make sense to just buy some land and hold and hodl. I mean, even if I wasn't going to participate, if the people around you are doing really good things, the value of your property in this metaverse should go up just based on location and all that. But if I were to sell a few years down the line, and let's say it does like a Moonbirds, and it goes from somebody minting something for like $7,000 and then selling it for $113,000. Let's say we could do something like that, like a 15x, and suddenly we could sell this for a lot of ETH. How much of that goes to you? Like if I sell it, is it like 5%, 20%?
Are you talking about the royalties on secondary market?
Well, yeah, the sale of like my land or the NFT that I have.
I mean, the only thing that goes to me would be the royalty, and it's not even me. It's we have 60% of every single property going right to a community wallet, and then not 60%, 10% royalty, 6% of that 10% royalty going directly to the community wallet, 4% goes to the team.
Okay, so out of that, like let's say if I sell something for 10,000, I get 8,000 of that, and out of the other 2,000, 600 goes to the community wallet. But now, what was the
10,000, 10% royalty. So
10% royalty goes to you guys?
No. So $10,000 sale. Like you have one of our NFTs, it's on open. You sell it, there's a 10% royalty. So if it's worth 10 grand, you're gonna get 9,000. 1,000 is gonna be the royalty, and out of that 1,000, 6% or $600 is gonna go to the community wallet, and 4% is gonna go to founders and partners of City of Gold.
Okay, so the seller would get 90%. And I guess if the seller, like if I own 2 properties, I get 90%, and then I also get a portion of that $600 because I'm a wallet holder or an NFT holder of the project, right?
If the DAO votes to disperse royalties, absolutely, 100%.
So that kind of incentivizes people to own multiple properties because they get a bigger percentage of each sale.
Exactly, and then the more the token's worth, as far dog token goes, like the commercial drop, that's all in our token. That goes directly to the community. Anytime our token gets used, this is one of the things that I was talking about where veve and Omi played some inspiration into our project. It was them and another project that has a similar burn mechanism. Anytime our token gets used, burned. So liquidity stays in the token, supply decreases, making everybody's position worth more.
Okay, so tell me about the tokenomics. How many? What is it called? How many are minted, and how much more can be minted in the future?
So there is a locked supply. It's not an unlimited supply. It's 1 billion, and the majority of it comes through staking rewards, and the other circulating supply is released upon mint. As far as that whole ecosystem goes, minus the dev pool that's set aside. Though, as far as how the tokenomics work, anytime the token's used, it's burned. So transaction fees to trade the token, there is no transaction fee. As far as like converting token goes. But when the staking happens, it's all coming from the City of Gold Vault, the COG Vault. The ticker is COG. It'll be self-funded upon mint. When certain things are purchased, I think it's a 50% burn mechanism. It's a pretty complex tokenomics. It's all in the Medium article, and all in our gold paper as well. But it's pretty simple. The majority of this, I think it totals out to like 140 million tokens. So right about.
That's what's been minted so far. Out of the billion. No.
640 million tokens is paid out via staking.
Okay.
Yeah. And out of the tokens that are paid out via staking, that comes over the course of 10 to 11 months to all the property holders. But the goal is to make it so that when these are paid out, the people from previous collections have roughly, well, the staking rewards, they drop at about a 50% rate. So, for example, the Genesis collection, average property score of 100 is what's paid out daily. You have an estate, you get a bonus multiplier of 33%. So you would be getting 400 every single day, right? If you have 3 properties, you burn it, turn it to an estate, you get the bonus multiplier. Now you're getting 400 COG a day.
Wait, so you get 400 each day for the next 11 months?
For the next 11 months. And then once we get to the second collection, once we get to the second collection, the amount of COG that's released to that collection is 50.
Yeah, that's cut in half, you said, right?
Cut in half. And then it's 25 and then 10.
So it's a good way to reward early investors, because the people that do get it, they're going to ones that get the most amount of COG. And you said COG, Charlie, Oscar, Golf. What's the?
Correct.
Yep. And the only way to get it currently would be to go and get on that whitelist, to go and get the. And what about the other 375 or 300-ish million coins? How else would those be?
Circulation. So people can buy and trade it, do whatever they want.
What was the first part of that? Came in looking up.
Circulation. People can buy and trade it, do whatever they want. We're going to have a lot of use cases for that token coming as quickly as we can, but being able to buy couches, being able to buy pools, being able to buy certain things that you want for your property, you'll be able to do that in our token. Anytime that you buy that, it's burned, or anytime that you buy it and use it, it's burned. So it just gives people a reason, assets such as cars, such as boats, such as helicopters, spending money in the ecosystem. Anytime, going and playing like a 3-on-3 basketball tournament with your friend on a court, you can wager type thing. Lots of use cases for the token, and we're adding to it.
So it could be like a play to earn as well. If you go and you wager and you get, okay. So if I wanted a couch, or let's say I upgraded my properties to have a helicopter pad, and I wanted a helicopter, I couldn't pay in ETH. I could only pay in COG.
Not going to comment on that because we're trying to make it so that you can do both. But the biggest differentiator is we're trying to see when we want to implement that particular use case for the token. So if that use case, if we want to use that for the token, like off the jump, the answer to that would be no. If this is going to roll out at a later point in time where we implement that use case, then the answer would be yes. So
people would probably want people to only pay in COG, because that would burn, the token, which would be really good. But so you want it to be a closed ecosystem at first, where everything's just within the City of Gold. But at some point, because you said the whole game, the metaverse will be on the Unity engine, and it's powered by Ethereum, you said, right?
Governed by Ethereum.
Governed by Ethereum. Could this be used on like Immutable X, like for like Gods Unchained, or like Hero, or even veve NFTs? And would you plan to try to get this on exchanges in the future, or do you think a closed system is better?
The token?
Yeah.
I mean, the token will go and get put on lots of exchanges. As far as initially, no, it won't. But yes, obviously, we want to get on multiple exchanges for attention purposes, financial purposes, all the.
Okay. So that was probably like a year away, after the rest of the land staking is done and over with.
Not necessarily. I mean, as far as the buying and the selling of the token, exchanges can happen, I foresee, before the final mint. As far as accepting, cross chain and stuff like that, TBD on that.
Okay. Is it on? So this says it's governed by the Ethereum block. So is the COG, is that on the Ethereum blockchain?
Yeah.
Okay. Layer 1, right?
The COG is an ERC20 token, and the properties are 721.
Okay. So that's layer 1 Ethereum?
Yeah, it's just an ERC20 token.
Okay, gotcha. So that would be. Do you think it would be easier to wait until Ethereum that like the 2.0 or the next Ethereum comes out?
What, proof of stake? Yeah. Probably. Yeah. I mean, it could. I mean, that's not our focus. Doing cool stuff like that. Like I said, I'm sure it'll come. Our biggest focus is just making sure that we're providing tons of value to our community, tons of use cases for that token, which makes the staking rewards more lucrative to our community and provides an interactive use case for that token. Also,
something that has been in the veve community has been put around saying that it does cost a bit of money to get on exchanges. A lot of people from veve saying like, oh, if it costs like $1 million or it costs like however many millions of dollars, people wanted to crowdfund that to get on exchanges quicker, which I would be okay with, but the team had said there's a strategy behind why they're going to take this route being slow, and they hired strategists on at the point over the next several quarters. Is that something that you would want to do? Like, hey guys, if you want to be on exchanges earlier, we'll set up like a crowdfund to do it, or is that something you guys would want to do yourself?
I thought the community I don't like if enough of the community wants to go, let's go.
Yeah.
What's the easiest way to get there is how I would say. So if they're like willing to help, cool, open up your pocketbook and we'll come too. I'm not opposed to, like I said, be community build as possible. So like we're taking input. It's not like, hey, this is my way or the highway. It's like, what you guys like there's certain things obviously where it's like, hey, we're going to make the decisions here. But at the end of the day, we want as much input as possible. And if it's going to add more value to every single token holder and we're not the ones necessarily covering it, I, at first glance, would not see an issue with that, is what I'm thinking.
So the one other thing I wanted to go over was fractionalization of the token, because 1 billion tokens is not a ton. Like even for Earth 2, which has 5 billion tokens that can ever be minted, and that's similar to what you guys are doing as well, where not on exchanges, the only way you could get the token essence is by getting properties, and they have their own ecosystem with jewels and mentors. It's really cool. But at some point, if let's say one of your things is only like a couple dollars, and then the token is worth a couple dollars, could you fractionalize the token and be like, hey, this is only one fifth or one half of one cog?
I don't think there's a split or fractionalization method set up in there. And I think the reason that you're talking about splitting, right?
Like if you have something that says like, oh, like let's say the value of cog is $2 and something on the metaverse costs $1. How do you pay for that in cog?
Like if the token's than what the thing costs in the smallest amount of form?
Yeah.
It'd be half a cog. It'd be half a cog.
Okay, and you can split that. Like you can, they're like, okay, you can take half of a cog.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't know what you. I thought you were talking about like a stock split. Like, are we gonna be?
No, no,
What?
I know. I meant like the fractions. Like you can cut it in half, and you can have
0.3321 cog or whatever. Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Like, are we gonna be splitting? No. No, we're not. No. I was like, we have a fixed supply. I thought we talked about that. Yeah. Sorry, dude. It's been a long day.
I feel you. I feel you on that. So before you were mentioning that you felt that God had given you an opportunity and a position to do something about it, what is something that you will do when this project takes off and your net worth quadruples or 10x's or 100x's? What do you plan to do?
I couldn't answer that correctly if I tried. If you asked me what I'd be doing a year ago today, and I answered that question, I would be dead wrong. If you would have asked me what I'd be doing a year ago, the previous year, about last year, I'd be wrong. At the end of the day, at the most core level value of it, I would just say continuously trying to bring value to the world and help people. So whatever that looks like in 2023 in April is what it looks like. If it's a fund that helps people trade, cool. If it's planting walnut trees, it's planting walnut trees. Like wherever I can provide the most value, the quickest, and at the highest degree is what I would say to that. Like I just, people ask, and it's, a lot of people don't want to talk about money. I'm cool to talk about money. People are like, what do you do with your money? What are you gonna do with money when you make more? Like, are you like, how much is too much is what I'm getting at. Like, that's questions that we get all the time. And it's like, I don't know, but like, regardless of what's in my bank account, if I sat around like and just watched Netflix for like 3 to 5 to 7 days, like I'm gonna be bored, dude. Like, how many vacations you want? How many like you just want to wake up and do nothing? Like, no, moving, idle hands are the devil's weakness, or workshop, or whatever the saying is. And at the end of the day, like I can't function when I'm bored. And momentum is a very hard thing to catch, but once you have it, you can be moving. And body in motion stays in motion at the end of the day. So I mean, I'm not trying to get lazy. I'm not trying to just be chilling. I'm trying to be out here making impacts, leaving legacies. So I don't know what it looks like. Definitely something philanthropical at some point in my life. I'm very big on helping high schoolers, and let me rephrase that. I want to be really big on helping high schoolers, and high schoolers that don't necessarily have parents or good guardians, some sort. I'm big on coaching and education. So whether it was a fund similar to our Shark Tank style demo days, or once you have an idea, you can pitch to your community once a quarter and source partnerships, develop fund or get funding, all that good stuff. Whether it was something along the lines for high schoolers that didn't have parents, or even that did have parents that might not believe in them, or whatever it is, where it's like, hey, you can come with an idea to us, we're going to partner up on it, and we're going to go make it happen with you. Something like that would be really, really cool. But I wouldn't want to do that until I had the appropriate amount of time to make sure that got my attention, because I don't want to half-ass do something like that. Those are kids, dude. You gotta, I'm not going to mess them up. If I'm going to go over there and do something big like that, I'm going to do something big like that. So what am I going to be doing in a year? Trying to do something big and trying to bring value at the end of the day.
Yeah, I had that with my old high school. I had the Chavez Harambe Entrepreneurial Scholarship and the Harambe Chavez Community Scholarship.
No,
so yeah, I had that for the past 3 years for my old high school. I had that, and it was just, and it was just a scholarship for whoever. It was only like $1,000 each, so it wasn't like a huge thing. But it was for whoever wrote me just like a letter. It didn't have to be like an essay, just like, who are you and why do you want to go into the career field that you're going into? And I would pick which ones I thought spoke to me, or which ones I can kind of read through the BS. Like, it kind of, hey, I did this X, Y, and Z. And that was really fun. So yeah, I definitely understand that because some people, if it's their dream to go to college, to do whatever, and they can't afford it, should probably, nice to help that. Also, Jeremy Padower had a status the other day saying, if you could have $1 million or one wish, what would it be? And I thought that, well, how much would I pay to live in a smarter society? And I would pay more than $1 million to raise everyone's IQ by like 7 points. Because like if you're around people that are smarter, better people, like that's just going to help humanity. So I definitely understand you with that. You said you have a birthday coming up next week. How old are you turning?
I'm turning 27. I'm just smiling because I'm thinking of my answer anytime somebody always asks me that question.
Okay. Oh, what, the birthday?
No, the wish question.
The wish. Yeah. What did you, if you had a wish?
I'm always like wishes.
Oh, okay. That would make sense. If you had that.
But yeah, I'm 27 on Monday.
So I know you say you can't or like predict the future. You don't know what's going to happen. This is obviously a big undertaking. What are some goals you have for this project and your personal projects by the time you turn 30 in the next 3 years?
Good question. I like to do the fundraising, man. Like the cap raising. That's my favorite thing. Like we get asked all the time, like when we're in a Twitter space or a Discord AMA, it's like, oh, you've never built a metaverse before? How are you gonna go build a metaverse? I'm like, dude, what if I was a dev up here? You wouldn't be asking me like, oh, how are you gonna go build a metaverse? One, that dev's not doing it by himself, but you're never gonna ask the dev, how are you gonna go sell your metaverse? How are you going to go manage the community? How are you going to market it? How are you going to get attention for it? How are you going to make sure that the people are engaged and stay there? How are you going to make sure that it's appealing enough to bring to market? Nobody ever asks those questions. It's fun. It's, oh, you're not a dev? How are you going to go build a metaverse? Dude, I'm not. I'm going to go partner up with some beasts and I'm going to make, a team, and the team's going to go make the metaverse, right? So to answer the question, what am I going to be doing in 30 years? Building teams. I'd love to do more things that allow me to stay at the forefront of the company. Like, I don't like the term CEO. Like, yeah, I'm the CEO over at City of Gold. I make a lot of the executive decisions. But I like to do the cap raising, dude. That's my favorite thing in the world. I don't know why. Like, it's fun to make people money. And the thrill, I don't know if it comes from when I used to knock on doors or whatever it was, but I like the sales, man. A lot of people don't do the sales. I like the sales. It's fun to me. So I would love to have a real estate fund. I'm a big believer of real estate, and that's how City of Gold essentially got its structure, quote unquote. Why do people buy houses? Why do people buy apartment complexes and rent them out? They do it so they can sit back, collect cash flow, and wait on the appreciation of the property. It's a very low risk investment. Very high upside. So I would definitely like to get into a real estate fund. At night, I watch tons of things. Cardone, a couple other people on buying and selling multifamily properties. So I definitely would love to get into that. I would definitely, obviously, going to be chilling over here in this Web3 space for a minute. So something along the lines of that, whether it's a fund, hedge fund. I want to start studying for my Series 7. I trade recreationally for myself, options and stuff like that. But I would love to get my Series 7. Yeah, you don't need it to go have a crypto fund, but it's coming. You're going to need it. So I'd love to just be prepared in case the opportunity presents itself to go start one of those. And like I said, I'd love to start like some sort of charity. But my biggest struggle with that is if I can't give something my full attention, it makes it very, very hard for me to want to get involved into it. And when it comes to something as serious to giving back, I don't want to play around with it. So I tithe and stuff with church and all that good stuff, and let them kind of, decide what to do with the money, and, God watches over them. But I'd love to get involved and start a charity, or at least become like a angel investor in one type thing, like silent, big investor of something I really, really care about.
I posted on Facebook that 90% of my net worth would be going to animal charities. A lot of it is going to be stuff that I set up in the future. Part of my, if there was a quest given from God to me, it would be to accelerate the advent of conservation for land for endangered species. So that's what I would probably be doing. I'd totally love your help in the future if you want to try to raise some funds. I see that as raising funds as like the beginning of a Pokemon game where you get a lot of experience and you raise levels really quickly, and
Yeah,
that's contingent on how good you are at raising funds, how good you are at sales, getting people to believe in you. I love that as well.
dude. So I play 2 video games.
Yeah.
I play Assassin's Creed,
Hmm.
and I play. Oh, I thought you were about to whip open a video game shirt real quick.
Oh no, I got the Pokeball on my shoulder though. Donkey Kong throwing the Pokeball.
Oh, that is DK.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love Assassin's Creed. I play every single one of those, and I love Pokemon. So it's bad. I don't play video games like that, but when I do, I buy the console. I beat the game in like a week to week and a half, and then I return the console. I don't play video games at all. I haven't played the new Pokemon game that came out. It was a year ago in November. I did not play that. I just haven't had the time. I played the most recent Assassin's Creed. It's not Odyssey. That was the Greek one. It was the Viking one. I love that one. But I play video games like every 1 to 2 years. I will play video games for like a week. Other than that, like I'm very limited with my time because I like it too much. So I just have very good self-control with it and limit myself because I will, like if I play at night and I like start getting on there, I'm done, dude. I'm up till 4, and my next day is just fried. I have no self-control with it. I'm eating pizza, I'm eating snacks, and I feel like absolute death the next day. So I just, stay away.
I feel you. I was just sick the last few weeks, and like the last few days, it's just been like ginger ale and crackers. Like, oh, when am I gonna feel better? But hopefully hopefully that gets easier as the days go on. I think you froze a little bit. There you go. You're back.
Yeah, someone called me. Sorry, I hit the ignore button as
Oh,
quick as
it's all
possible.
good.
I heard the
So
ginger ale and crackers.
yeah, it's right over there, staring at me in the face. In the Okay, I do have a couple questions from the audience here. At what point do you have to? Do you have a timeline on when you have to go back and pay the initial investors back, or is it just kind of like, hey, as long as they get funds every month or every quarter, they don't really care?
They're actually only here for the first mint. We retained all equity so that we could go open up potential investments in the future if we needed them.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think that we do.
Okay, great. So any of the debt obligations are gone after the first mint. That they
We don't have a lot, and by a lot, it's we didn't source a lot of money. So we self-funded a lot of this. Is what I'm getting at.
Oh wow. So, and you don't have to go over any specific figures, but what percentage of like your funds went into this project? I know it's like your baby and this is your thing. Was it like 10%, 20%, 80%?
We're pretty all in on it.
Wow. So this is
We're all
so you
in.
definitely believe in it. You
Yeah, I believe in it. Yeah, 100%. I'm out here
so
getting it every day.
so if you have you started the City of Gold Twitter, you said November last year?
Started City of Gold Twitter.
Yeah, in November of last year, right?
No, that probably started January-ish. January.
Of this year.
Hmm.
Oh, and you already have like over 7,000 followers. So this is probably going to get, I don't know, like up to 10,000 over the next like month or so. And then how many users do you or how many people are on the whitelist right now that are like they're getting land? They're ready to go.
A couple hundred. We cut it, and we're very, very big on organic and grassroots. Like I said, we need a very, very strong community. We've played this slow, and we've done it right in our opinion in the aspect of me, my partner, just chilling in Twitter Spaces. Like we did, we're working on everything in the background, but we're just chilling in Twitter Spaces like for 3 months straight. Like January, not even talking, just listening. February, March, this month, chilling in these Twitter spaces, dude. Making connections, developing partnerships, meeting great people, talking about the project, doing a lot of legwork that a lot of people don't want to do. But like, we have a huge budget to go spend on marketing. We haven't started. You know, like the marketing comes a couple weeks before. We haven't started, and it's like as far as the paid side goes, and you know, we did our events in Miami and stuff like that. We did a little bit of paid, but nothing in comparison to what we have planned. And yeah, I feel really, really good about the project. What's getting crazy is like, I don't even know if we're going to end up spending our marketing budget because of what we have planned to do with all of these collaborations. Like,
yeah,
I take 2 to 3 to 4 collaboration calls a day now, and just keep lining them up. Like, we're people are, I ask them, I'm like, hey, who else do you know that would like what we're doing? And they recommend people because they know at the end of the day, the value that we're going to bring to them through this avatar program is exponential, and the least amount of members from their community that they can have getting a free one as possible is what they want. So it's not hard for us to line up collaborations. We're not coming to people and we're like, hey, you know, we can do like a 15-person whitelist trade, you know, like no one's ever going to use it, but you like want to say that we're doing it. Like, we're not doing that. That's no value. Like, if I can't bring direct value to you off the jump, we're not doing a collaboration. And it doesn't have to be this avatar program. It could be something like we've done with one group that has 100 people in it. But these 100 people all buy, trade, and sell NFTs and crypto, and they hold. And they want to start a paid group, the founders. And we go to them, and I've been in their Twitter spaces, not shilling, hanging out, developing relationships, cultivating relationships authentically. And I'm like, hey man, you know, we're getting ready to start our project marketing. I'd love to have you get involved. And we start talking about how we can bring value. Obviously, we know what we want from them. We want them to talk about our project to their community, but they want to start a paid group. It comes out through asking questions and through a conversation. And what we're going to do is have them up in our Discord when we run our coaching programs, and they're going to speak on the NFT and crypto investing portion. And they're able to pull some people from our community into their paid group. 4 to 6 weeks for an hour and a half once a week is not enough time to go learn how to properly, risk managemently, trade and buy crypto and NFTs. So they come over here, they present themselves as an expert, they show that they know what they're doing. Hey guys, our series is coming to an end as far as this. We've had some awesome speakers come up here and show you guys a thing or two in addition to blah, 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 blah. These guys are starting a group. It's blah, blah, blah. City of Gold members get a blank discount. Go over and check it out. Now they're able to tap into our community, right? So what I'm getting at is that I can't provide value, I'm not going to do that kind of collaboration. And I feel very, very good about the ones that we have getting set up currently.
So I just took a look at your followers and some of the people that I follow that also follow you. There is this guy named Max Ambition who got into Earth 2 and veve, same as I did. There's 2 others. There's Zach Shade, who is, you said, an advisor on your, which is great. And he doesn't get into crap projects. He always goes, and I mean, he's into Omi and I don't even know if I don't know if he sold some of his veve NFTs, because I know he what?
He's deep. He's very long.
Yeah. And then you have Darcy Donovan following you. And Darcy Donovan is a film and television actress. She's a recording artist, producer, and she's got over 200,000 followers on her Twitter. She just reached out, and I will be setting up an interview with her. But she follows you. So do you know of any other celebrities or any other people that are in this, or do you have to keep a secret?
Can't kiss and tell.
I love that. At least an air of mystery. Like, ooh, who else does he have? But that is cool. I'll definitely bring this up when I'm interviewing her as well. Is there going to be any, I don't want to say like discrimination, like is there going to be any and it doesn't even have to be from you guys. It could be from the community. Like, oh, you can only get into this particular area of City of Gold if you have like 5 properties, or if you have, yeah.
Of course, you have to have it.
How much would one have to invest in order to get that scenario we brought up before of getting that 400 cog per day? You said like 3 properties?
3 properties. Yep.
Okay. And does those properties have to be upgraded at all for you to get that 400 or no? So it could just, and you said it's like what, 0.12 or 0.15 ETH?
0.123, 0.15 public.
Okay. So I just joined the Discord. I'll figure out how it ticks later. And then as long as I get on the white list, I'm able to go and get, okay. Can I reserve 3 properties now, or do I have to just, nope, only relegated to 1?
You can't go with me for an hour and a half. You can reserve some properties. We got you, man. I appreciate you. Get you on the white.
Let's get this bread.
Get on the friends and family white list.
I love this game. Cool. I'll reach out on the Discord later. I'll be like, hey guys, help. How do I do this?
Hey guys, help.
Yeah. So the plans right now, what is next for people in the community? Is the next big thing that whitelist? Is the next big thing that drop a property?
Yeah, next big thing is the whitelist and the drop. The whitelist should be opening up here real soon, possibly this week. We just closed it because we didn't know what we were going to do with the mint, how far we were going to push it. So just wanted to close it down. Could probably open it up here real soon though. We're waiting for a couple things to happen, and then we want to announce that with what we're doing with the whitelist. But yeah, next big thing is the whitelist and the mint, and then the education keynote speakers start, and staking starts, and it gets fun.
Yeah, I imagine that, you said some things happened this week at Miami. It might take a little while to dot the I's and cross the T's on some of the cooperation brands. But that's the other thing I wanted to say. You said you were on City of Gold, you were investing about $300,000 in speakers?
Yep, those are just keynote speakers. So like we have all of our different sessions. So sales, marketing, e-commerce, building a social brand, monetizing your social brand, stocks, Forex, option trading, real estate investing, crypto and NFT investing, tax strategies, and leveraging credit. Basically, we tried to put 3 different, and then the last one is launching your own NFT project. We'll walk you through blueprint, 8-week course section. It's, if you have our tokens or our NFTs, you get to come to these, but we'll literally walk you through the exact blueprint on what you need to do to go market your project. Basically, we tried to break it down into 3 categories. Category number 1, go get money, right? You got to learn how to go make your money. So sales, marketing, building a brand, e-commerce, skills like that. Second thing, you got to learn how to keep your money. So leveraging tax strategies, credit, good stuff like that. Section number 3, multiplying your money, real estate investing, crypto and NFT investing, stocks, options, Forex trading, a couple other things that we got thrown in there. We're going to have experts who come within the community leading each one of those sessions based on their accolades, and then bringing in a keynote speaker that's a super, super good expert in that particular field to further empower that community.
And for the normal folk in here, how do other people get whitelisted in there? Is that, you said it was closed now?
It's super easy. You literally just invite 5 people to the Discord, or you reach level 10 in the chat. I'd go with the 5 invites. It's a lot easier.
Cool beans. All right, so you hear that, Daniel Marquez? Just spam that invite.
You're a beast, dude.
Yeah, I mean, this is not my first rodeo. Getting the metaverse with Earth 2, and knowing that I made a mistake of only buying places that I thought were like, oh, I'm gonna buy these random no-name places in India and Brazil because they're still like 10 cents per tile. It's like, I'm not gonna get American tiles because those are like $1.25 already. Not knowing that everyone's gonna want America, and I, they're like $60 per tile now in America, so I fudged up a lot. But I know location is really good with this. I know you said that there's only a certain amount that is going to be released with each drop. If the demand is there, and I know you said you could build up and people could eventually rent out certain, parts of their properties. Would you say like, hey guys, there's so many people in here and people are leaving because they can't get property in like the next couple of years? Would you open that up like, hey, we're building a new section of land in the city of gold? It's going to be called the Metropolis of Gold.
That would be the plan, because technically there's 7 cities of gold. So depending on what happens, we'll see where it goes. But that's why we implemented the estates, because this isn't about us as the founders. So we don't want to go through these things and go make a bunch more minting and go build a metaverse down the street. Even if we hit control copy the whole world paste over here, we could theoretically, but will we do that? I don't know. That's why we implemented the estates. So build up, right? You can build up as high as you can, right? So it's digital, it's fake, it's here, so you can build up as high as you want. Essentially, it's not like the building is just gonna like collapse. It's not happening. It's digital. So if we implement estates,
go ahead.
In apartment complexes, now those people that want properties in our world, they're gonna have to go pay the market rate, and they're gonna pay that market rate to the token holder that believed in us back now. And we're not going to do anything about it. So if you want to go charge them blank amount a month, you make the rules, bro. That's your house, not mine. Do your thing.
So I know this might be getting away from this a little bit, but let's say you have somebody that is building their stories because they want to, swing their appendage around, be like, I have the tallest building in City of Gold, and I have the best view, and they sell their apartments up there as the best view because it's the top floor. And then people right next to them also build up to that 12th floor and suddenly block their view. And suddenly you can't see the lake now. You can't see the city. Is air rights going to be a thing that you can only build so high? And would you be able to buy other people's air rights to prevent them from building so high?
It's a good question. I haven't been asked that one yet either. You better make sure you're in that Genesis collection on that outside ring. That's the 10,000 waterfront properties, because those guys, it's a wild west out there. They're the ones making the rules. Those are going to be those slum landlords. They're paid out enough to go get some properties from each one.
Yeah, what if I'm in like a circle, like I'm in like not a cul-de-sac, but there's like a bunch of properties around me. I get one in the middle because I want to be in the middle of the action. But suddenly all these people build their property so high, and now on my roof that I have a helipad, I can't take off because all these people are around me. They have to like crash. Kobe.
Get with air traffic control, Randy. I don't know how to answer that question, dude. But that you do make a good point that will be getting talked about in the sprint session this week.
Okay, I'm glad I can be of service here. And you said there's only 5 of these drops, though, right? There's only 5 of the. Yep. But you said there's 7 cities or 7.
You've got the waterfront mansions. That's the outer rim. Then you've got the jungle tree houses. Then you've got the hills. Then you've got the suburbs, and then you've got high rises downtown.
All right, so you said you got the waterfront property, and then you have
jungle tree houses. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then you got the houses in the hills, mansions in the hills, and then you've got straight up residential like suburb neighborhoods, and then you've got high rises outside of the downtown area, and then the downtown area is all commercial.
All right,
and then you hubs scattered throughout, 15 or 16.
So the waterfront is really good. I feel like the jungle tree houses is like the gentrified area, where it's in between the city and the suburbs, and you just take a train, just go right through, and you just.
Yep.
All right, and you said the high rises, they're the same as the commercial properties.
Same as commercial properties?
Yeah, you said like you have the waterfront, then outside of that is the jungle tree houses, outside of that is the houses on the hills, outside of that is the residential suburbs, and outside of that is the high rises. And then is outside of that the commercial property, or is that?
So it's waterfront, jungle, hills, suburbs, apartments like high rises, and then downtown.
Oh, so it goes inward.
If we're gonna keep talking, I need to jump in on my laptop because my phone's at 1%. You want me to jump in on my laptop?
Yeah.
All right, I'm jumping in right now.
All right.
Is it gonna? How does this work if I do it from my laptop? It's just same thing.
Yeah, if you still have the invite on Twitter, you should just be able to go in, and I could just add you.
No, that's what I got. Yeah, so
I'll call you Greg Louganis. Just jumping right in. It was an Olympic diver. All right, there you go. All right, I see you from a different angle now. So it doesn't go waterfront out; it goes out like waterfront. So the whole city surrounded by an ocean, and the waterfront is on the outside, and it goes inward. Okay. And
you ever seen like well, yeah, you have your veve. Thor, Asgard.
Yeah.
Okay, you know how like you teleport to Asgard and then you got the big bridge?
Mm-hmm.
The lore's coming out this week or next, so some cool stuff will be.
Okay, so the high rises are apartments, and that is the final layer before you get to the community city, like the city center, right?
Correct.
Okay, so when you said like the Rainbow Bridge, that's obviously a portal, and you're built on the Unity engine, and is there going to be interoperability with other metaverses that are also built on Unity engine?
That's why we're built open source, because we don't think that we're just going to be like, I don't think that anybody's ever just going to hang out in our metaverse. Like, that's not how this works. Like, you don't just go to one mall. You don't just go to one pool. You don't go on, you don't do one thing. Like, who goes to the same place on vacation every single time? People that buy timeshares. You know, not a lot of people still. It's 2022. You know, now we Airbnb and we go everywhere that we want. So you go, maybe this week you're going to hang out over here, or maybe tonight you're going to hang out over here. And then you're like, yo, let's go do da-da-da-da-da over in this metaverse. Like, I think it's cool. I think every world will have their own little unique thing that they bring value to. We're just trying to have as much value in our world as possible so that we can keep people in it, obviously. But at the end of the day, they might live here. I live in Tampa. That don't mean that I'm not going to go to Denver and go snowboard. You know? So whatever attracts people. And at the end of the day, we want people to make stuff that's like ours. We want people to make stuff that's different than ours, because that's how we're going to get more people into the space as a whole. And that was one of the coolest things that I got from going to all these IRL events was people want to help in the space. And it's just so cool. I really like it, because it's not like, real life. It's like, oh, I got a pizza shop. You got a pizza shop. We're both like, piss off, Randy. And you're like, piss off, Gabe. It's like, oh, dude, you got a pizza shop? Dude, what are you guys using for your pepperonis? Oh, I'm using these. Oh, yeah, we got this cheese. Like, I can plug you with my supplier, it's just like all collab,
help each other out.
All help, wag me, it's tight. So I like it.
Yeah. A lot of people think that there's like competition with like Nike and Reebok and Adidas, and there is, but there's a reason why all of those stores are always together in the same shopping center or in the same mall, because people that like one thing is going to like the other, and they help each other out. Oh, while I'm here, might as well check these out. And I think it's the same with this. And I obviously this will be cool. People will be able to do like helicopter races will be great in this, but what I'm really looking forward to is like a hide and seek type of game across like 3 different metaverses, like all on Unity engine. Like it'd be like go from veveverse
ever.
Yeah.
100%.
Go from veveverse. Oh, he's not in here. And there's like a search party on. It'd be like hide Bigfoot or whatever. Someone will make their avatar Bigfoot, and whoever's first to find him gets like a lock of his hair, and you can clone him or something like that. That'd be.
Now you get his avatar. He just goes into your wallet, and next thing you know, you got a Bigfoot skin.
For the avatars, are we gonna get like, or would you have to do like KYC? Be like, hey, you're making this avatar, or else I could just make like a Danny DeVito avatar and be like, hi guys, I'm Danny DeVito.
There's gonna be a wallet connect feature. As far as the KYC goes, I mean, we're built open source. Not speaking on security here, speaking on functionality here. We want people to bring their avatars into the world. Like it goes into Ready Player One, right? It's like, hey, do we really know that you know, Smoothie Man. Sorry, I'm just like looking for things to talk about. You know, Smoothie Man over here, like, is he actually like, you know, Smoothie Man? It's like Artemis. It's like you don't know who somebody is. I think that's one of a lot of people's favorite things about Web3s. You can be who you want to be, not necessarily who you are. And, you know, you got a wallet, you connect in, it works. You drop a Fortnite character avatar, you drop some alien avatar. I don't need to know your name's Gabriel Pfeifer for you to come in here. You start messing with my stuff, you're going to get hit with that ban hammer real quick. But like, you know, other than that, I don't know. As long as we can make it secure, I don't have an issue with you coming in with a Danny DeVito avatar and not being Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Could there be? You said like get hit with the ban hammer if they mess with your stuff. If I have like let's say I have a building that I build up, and then I put like a sign on the building like of one of my favorite politicians, like 2024, and somebody else doesn't like that, is that it's my building, but it's obstructing their view.
How does it work at your house right now?
That's a good point.
It's
All
your
right,
property, dude. Like, you don't like it? Get on OpenSea and move, bro. Like, don't know what to tell you. Like,
all right.
my house, like, I own this, and you know, Daddy isn't coming over here to do anything about it. This is decentralized. This is like, you don't get to tell me what to do. Like, you know, like at the end of the day, it's like,
I like that.
I'm not here to be anybody's dad. You know, like, we already disagree on enough things. Like, you like Biden and you like Trump, like, cool, dude. You guys are next door neighbors. Like, either one of you guys better just like pony up and sell your house, or you better just grow up enough to be able to like work out your differences, or like just look the other way. I mean, if dude wants to go stick a whatever sign in his yard for 2024 and I get a message about it, I can guarantee you that thing's getting left on red. I'm not here to tell people how to live their life at all. I'm going to make sure y'all get paid. That's about it.
That's amazing. I'm gonna so for like license plates, like for vehicles in there, we have like whatever.
Where are all these questions coming from? Did you just say? Is this why you were up late with these crackers and the ginger ale? You got all the good questions, dude. Hit me
No,
with
I just
plate.
I don't know. So I have like so many thoughts going through my mind at any given point in time, and it just I'll just pick one from the ether, and it's just like, oh, this sounds good.
I'm having fun. It's really opening me up because like I think big, but I'm like, dude, what happens if someone blocks someone's view? That's a support ticket that I was not planning for. But what you got with license plates? Hit me, Randy.
Yeah, so like if I guess it's kind of like a First Amendment issue, I guess, you know, like if I go and I know that my neighbor is like a Trekkie, but I really love Star Wars, I'll put on my license plate, Star Trek sucks. I'll get 2 cars, or I'll get 3 cars. I'll have one license plate say Star Trek, one license plate says sucks, and I'll leave those in my driveway so he can see it all the time. And my third one, I'll just drive. Just be like, I don't just stuff like that.
I mean, what would happen if you did that right now?
Probably no one would care. Like, you paid an extra $50 for that. Like,
I think you would say the same thing.
Yeah.
At least in this case, at least he made money off of you trying to piss him off.
That's a good point. It's very true. So the property line.
Go buy some more stuff that I hate. Get me paid, dog.
Yeah, spend that money. The property lines that you have there, are they square? Like each property is like a
Not square. They're like curved squares in a sense, because like it can't be square and like go around a circle. Like,
oh, true.
Eventually be missing space. So the outer rims are like if this is, it's like inverted. Like this is my left hand, but it's on my right side. So I'm like trying to, okay. So like if you got the circle, like you can't have a square like going into the water. It's like curved squares to where it like makes a plot, you know? So it's like a circle.
So I know you said obviously there's benefits, like the more properties you have, the more coins you can get each day. Is there a cap to that? Like 400 is the most coins you can get, even if... Oh, so if I have 6 properties, I get 800 coins?
Yes.
Okay, so is there like any hidden bonuses in there? Like I don't know if you played Settlers of Catan. You have the longest road. You get an extra like if you have the most properties, so you get a like you have 9 properties adjacent to each other as opposed to one here, one here, one there.
So there will be certain things, I can't spoil them yet. They're coming between exclusive access places, um, between exclusive access. It's a lot of exclusive access, but there's a couple different rewards that we got to just continuously gamify the whole concept of what we're doing. The biggest thing is exclusivity. If you show that you're with us, we're going to be with you. So whether it's a particular asset that gets airdropped to you that you can utilize however you see fit, whether it's access to drive certain cars on a racetrack that might or might not be there, whether that nobody else gets to drive, like the holders' cars, or maybe it's access to a car club where you can now reserve any one of whatever cars to drive around without having to spend money on it, and you just get it because you are a whatever holder. A lot of cool things come.
So in that same breath, where you have airdrops, do I have a better chance of getting an airdrop if I have 9 properties as opposed to 1, or is it just pot luck? All right, I recognize the nod. Real recognizes real. So the cars that you get, I know you said you would only have certain access to certain cars if you're a holder for maybe X amount of time. But in order to even the playing field, let's say if I just get in, let's say the project is 2 years old and I just get in,
Mm-hmm.
and I say, well, I've only been holding for like a day. Could you spend a certain amount of COG to get access to those cars that people normally can only get by holding properties or staking their NFTs for 2 years? Could you open up access like that by spending COG?
Possibly. And I don't mean necessarily like, hey, there's a X car right here. You can only have this car if you have X amount of properties. It'd be like, oh, these are all the cars that are in City of Gold. Okay, boom. Here's a car club. All the people that own X amount of properties can take cars out of our garage anytime they want.
Oh,
that
cool.
would be like, so exclusivity with perks type thing. I'm sure there will be things where it's like, hey, you can only have this if you have this. And then there's other ways that you can obviously achieve that goal, whether it's winning a quest that gets dropped, because we want to incorporate some sort of story. It's an open world. It's not a storyline game, but we want in order for us to continuously keep the engagement, we have to give people reasons to engage other than shopping, commerce, interest that they already like, their favorite sports teams being shown in a virtual stadium on a Sunday for a football game, a lot of cool things that we have planned. But right now, if we look at the community, there's a lot of gamers over here. Gamers like the game.
I love to game.
Do you? I don't have any tats.
Yeah, I got Kirby and Yoshi and
I see Zelda on there.
Yeah, Paper Mario. So yeah, you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, so while we want to bridge the gap of the demographic in the space and provide a lot of value to them to get them over here and bring more money into the space for the people that are going to be into our community, that are going to be creating projects, that are going to be trying to sell projects and make money for themselves, we also can't forget about the community that's here right now. And a lot of those guys are gamers. So we got to have stories in there. We got to have quests. We got to have fun stuff to go win. It is what it is. And I like it too. So it's like, maybe...
I would love that as well. You said the lore, like there's going to be lore there. This is obviously, you said it's not futuristic. It's meant to be like present. Is this on Earth? Is this Earth in another alternate reality? Is this a different planet that's maybe in Andromeda? Nothing.
You're not getting all the bombs. You got to read the lore.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'll answer the question with a question. Where was the City of Gold? No one knows. It was never found. So
there's okay. So this, I'm very intrigued by what you guys can do with this, and I'm very intrigued by where this can go, and also if the community, like let's say in the original Dragon Ball series, I don't know if you ever read that.
I've watched it.
It never really says that Goku's an alien. It only says that in Dragon Ball Z that he's a Saiyan when his brother Raditz comes down, and it's like, oh, could there be any twist like that if the community really wants? It's like not the opposite of anarchy mode where they vote on Twitch on the next move on what to do. Could you vote and say like, okay, you guys want us to be in alien space? Okay, we're in Andromeda. We're not on Earth. Would you guys cede to that?
Possibly, to a degree. To a degree. I think stuff like that will be coming for future worlds where, it's like a different quote unquote area. I think as far as like the lore goes and like the storyline goes, it's going to be locked. That being said, there could be DLC. So, maybe something happens and, something's discovered.
I love the continuous DLC updates that we can possibly get.
You got to have DLC.
Yeah, of course. Is it possible to create a play-to-earn game within the City of Gold, like for somebody else? Because it's built on the Unity engine. Could they like, hey guys, we're using COG, and they build their own racetrack. Let's say if City of Gold hasn't come out with one yet, or they build their own whatever, like let's say sailboats on the waterfront.
If you guys want to set up yacht races or helicopter races or whatever you want to do, golf tournaments, organize them. This is your guys' world, as long as it's not going to mess with the interface and everything's secure. And Alex, my partner, isn't here, but I'm sure he'd say the same thing. We want it to be as community built as possible. Everybody only has so many ideas. More ideas, more engagement, money for everybody. Community members, more money for community members is what I'm getting at, more money for them. If people want to go spend money and you can get them involved, I don't really have an issue with anything. Like I've got no issues. So
will there ever be anything like, how in Mario Party, if you can go on like a certain block, oh, you landed on this block, you get +3 coins. Like for somebody that's getting a place in, let's say, a house in the hills and they have an excavator there. Oh, hey, you spent this much on an excavator and you happen to dig up this treasure. Or they have a place in the jungle of houses. Oh, you find a friend like a monkey and you train him. Now he's your pet and he follows you.
We had talked about that. We're not sure what we're going to do with that yet. Like as far as like resources from the land go.
Okay. I think it'd be really great to have something, even if you paid for it. Like, how in Among Us, you could have like a little space crab that follows you and pay like $1 for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so Among Us is a great game. It's like you have to see who the imposter is. But in the game, you could pay like $1 or $2 to have like a space crab follow you, to have like a piece of toilet paper on your head. And it's just a great way for an in-app purchase. It doesn't really do anything. Like, oh, hey, you can have this person if you're in the jungle of houses. You have now this pet, and this pet doesn't do anything. They just follow you everywhere. I think that'd be really cool to have. I would pay for.
That would be cool, like a Pikachu following you.
I was saying like an anteater. This way I'd have a clean house. No bugs would get in there. But yeah,
Roomba.
I guess you could do that too. My friend got a text the other day that he's like first world problems. His Roomba was stuck at the top of the stairs and it couldn't turn around. It's like first world problems. But yeah, people would pay for that.
No, we've got a lot of ideas, and sometimes when you're doing so much creative, you get blocked. So it's a continuous innovative process over here, and that was one of the reasons that we decided to make this so community involved. We're gonna run out of ideas.
I got you.
Plus, we're not gonna.
Yeah.
You
I'll make Chavez Topia, where we sit around all day and think of the most outlandish ideas.
Chavez city planner. You're gonna get like a custom role city planner.
I'll be on the board. I'll come in my polar bear pajamas and be like, all right, guys, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna. That'd be fun. And I've been giving you, it's about 90 minutes now. Any other things that you want to tell the community, people that are watching now or going to watch in the future once this is posted everywhere?
The biggest thing is that at the end of the day, this is a world built by us for you guys. And we've implemented so many different features and utilities into this project to make it to where you guys win the most. And are we going to get paid? Like I said, yeah, we're going to get a little bit of paycheck, but we're going to catch our check after we go prove our worth and do our thing for you guys. So we got a vesting period for our token. Our biggest focus is the metaverse and the ecosystem of the metaverse. And we don't get paid really unless that thing wins. Like, no one's getting excited over, and I say this with a grain of salt because I was there before. A couple $100K is cool. Building this thing's expensive. That's not what's getting me out of bed in the morning. What's getting me out of the bed in the morning is having Forbes blowing up my phone because they're like, yo, how the hell did you guys just do that? Like, can we talk to you without me being like, hey, can you please write an interview on me? Like, that was cool the first time, but like, I'm trying to get these guys blowing me up. I'm trying to go leave an impact. And at the end of the day, this world was built by us, me and my partner, and our whole team for you guys. We want you guys to get involved. We want this to be as community built as possible. So if you have an area where you think you can add value to the project, please open a ticket in our Discord. Reach out to us on Twitter or IG. I run the Twitter. Alex runs the IG. We handle everything ourselves right now. If you're watching this and you want to get involved, please reach out to us and get involved. We'd be more than happy to get you involved if there's a fit for you. That being said, if there isn't one, I'm sure there will be in the future. So please reach out if you want to get involved. Please get involved in the project. And Randy, I just want to say thank you to you for letting me come up here and rap with you for the past 90 minutes. It's been fun, man. It really has.
Yeah, great. I'm going to go in the Discord now, and I'm going to try to reserve a couple plots of land just so I don't like overshoot, or I sell. Like, what's the most amount of land that one person is reserved for right now? Like, I don't want to be going and getting like 10, like, oh, the max is only 3. Or like, and I also don't want to just get 3 when like, hey, yo, bro, this person just bought 30. Like, step up your game.
Open a ticket.
Okay. All right, I'll go in. Thank you so much for coming on, and just hang about for like 30 seconds after I end, and then we'll do the thing. All right, everyone, say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. All right, bye, guys.